Welcome to the Community Spotlight podcast. My guest is Susan Montgomery. She's with the Area Agency on Aging, and I've aged so much. It's been a while because we used to do the Spotlight program together.
We did.
And she's a wealth of information with her favorite group, which is seniors, which I am well into being a senior myself. So today we're going to start off with Area Agency on Aging. November is Caregiver Month, correct?
It is. It is. So looking forward to that. It's a month where we celebrate caregivers, all the hard work that they do. They say a caregiver is the hardest job there is. And there's a lot of people out there that are caregivers, whether they're caring for the young people in their home or senior citizens, family members in their home. So at the Area Agency on Aging, we're located in Ontario.
Hawkins Center?
Hawkins Corner.
Hawkins Corner.
Yep. And we're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You can always come in, visit us in the main office, and talk to a navigator. They help people navigate their way through services they might be needing, programs they're looking at.
It's a lovely facility, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. So we have a lot of great resources. Our biggest program is our Passport program, which helps with wraparound services that help people stay in their home for as long as possible and age in place safely. And that's where they want to be.
Yes, most people want to be home as they age.
Yes, yep. And so this helps the caregiver. It's able to bring in services that can help that caregiver. But we also through the U.S. Aging Collaborative with the Area Agency on Aging, we receive funding from the U.S. Administration for Community Living. And what that funding does is helps promote education for vaccines.
Okay.
Vaccines in general. So it could be shingles, influenza, flu, COVID-19, boosters. There's a whole wide array of vaccines that are available that are helping families stay healthy. And so through this collaborative, we are going out to different flu clinics and being able to give information, and there are incentives that are available where you can get a reward for coming out and getting your flu or COVID-19 shot. But just being able to be out and get those critical vaccinations that are critical to senior citizens especially. And seasonal flu, influenza is coming upon us. Right now is when you should be going out and getting your flu vaccine. Maybe talk to your doctor about it, talk to your pharmacist about it. You can always call the Area Agency on Aging if you have questions, and we are happy to answer any questions that we can.
So you received a grant for that, so you can educate people about the various vaccines and and
that's not just 60 plus. That's any age.
Any age.
Yes.
All right. Now, another area here I know we wanted to kind of get into briefly was about respite care, and there's several different types of that. I know I've went through that. So, again, I had parents that they're both passed now, so I know what you're talking about being a caregiver. I have a firsthand knowledge of that. So these types of things right now would have been a big help to a caregiver. So I'm going to let you spend some time on this. This is very, very about respite care.
So what respite is it is time for the caregiver so that they have time away from being a caregiver, but the person they're caring for, which would be a senior citizen living in their home with them, is being cared for so that they can get away to maybe get to an appointment, get to a doctor's appointment, get to a hair appointment, just go to the grocery store. A lot of times that's difficult if you're caring for someone in your home.
Yes, especially if you're the sole person that's providing that as the caregiver. And my understanding in our little pre-discussion before we went on this morning is you have this respite care can be done actually in the home and then at a facility, either one, correct? Is that correct?
Right. The funding that we have is called Care Companion, and that is where you can have someone come to your home for up to 6 hours to be able to just be a companion, not to do personal care, not to help them with any of their services, but to be there so that the caregiver can go away and do what they need to do, go to any appointment appointments, go to that lunch with that friend that you haven't seen in a long
Yes,
time.
yes.
And that way you know that the person you're caring for is at home being cared for by a care companion who's just overseeing them, talking to them, visiting with them, and they're also having a nice time there in the home. This is available in all of our 9-county area, and the caregiver can be any age. So you could be a 40-year-old woman and you're taking care of your aunt who's in her 70s or 80s.
Yes.
So the caregiver can be of any age, and there are no income guidelines on this. It's needs. It's someone who needs this to happen, someone who
Okay.
needs that care in their home for just a short amount of time. Now, there is inpatient care also.
Okay.
So we know that there's a lot of families that still have young kids at home, and they're wanting to go on a vacation, a family reunion, a wedding, someplace out of state. But as far as being a caregiver, that makes it difficult because they do have the care of the person that's living with them that they need to look at. And so the inpatient care is where they can go for several days, I think it's up to a week, to either a approved assisted living or nursing facility and be cared for in the facility while the family is able to leave, whether it's leave state or wherever they need to go. Or even if it's just respite, if it's just a week that they need to be able to have for other family things. But they just need to know that their loved one's being cared for around the clock like they would care for them.
I tell you, there's a great need for this because if you're a caregiver, there's times there's just not enough hours in the day. There's things you want to do. Maybe you want to go get a haircut. Go breathe a little bit because it's, you're 24/7 when you're a caregiver at home. So I know I've been there, and like I said, this is a wonderful opportunity for that.
Yes.
To move in that. Now I know we're running now up into the HEAP, right?
Yes.
Season for heating assistance.
Yeah, and that's another way that we can help anyone 18 or older. So it's not, all of our services and all 60 plus. We are 0 to 100 plus that we have services that are available. One of them is the HEAP, which stands for Home Energy Assistance Program.
Okay.
And so this will start again in the end of October, and it's going to run through the first of the year. It looks like May 31st is when that will end. So right now what you can do is you can apply for assistance, which is a one-time payment on your energy bill. And you have to qualify for that financially, but call the Area Agency on Aging if you have questions about it. There's a lot of people that qualify for this and are able to utilize these extra funds that are being able to be put towards their energy bill.
And I think there's a couple points here I would make is because eligibility might have, let's say before we didn't meet the eligibility changes all the time. So it's always best to check every year to find out whether or not you might be eligible. Maybe you weren't before. Don't be frustrated. Do something.
Yes.
Pick up the phone and say, hey, this is my situation, whatever. And I believe the other thing, if I recall from a long time ago, it was a shock to me when I think somebody was heating with wood, and that came under this too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all different kinds of heating sources. So it could be wood, gas, electric, any kind of heating source, fuel oil. It covers all the different heating sources.
Well, I wanted to throw that out because that's one that a lot of people might not think of, and I was pretty shocked when I saw that.
Yep. Now, for this, you really should be getting a hold of your local community action, but you can always call the Area Agency on Aging.
Lead and guide you to where you need to get for it.
Absolutely.
Now you have home and maintenance. That's another
Yes.
topic.
So that can include, this is home maintenance is a service that can come into the home that can help out with specific things like heavy cleaning, including washing walls, ceilings, outside windows, washing inside, difficult to get to windows. This would be for the 60 plus senior citizen that is in our 9-county area. And It could be replacing light bulbs. The last thing we want is somebody up on a ladder trying to replace a light bulb. So there's a lot of different tasks that home maintenance can do, and that's what it was built for. Is it's for someone who isn't on another program that might need to utilize some home maintenance. A lot of times people will get seniors that'll say, if I just knew somebody who could do this task for me. And so that's what home maintenance was built for, is to help that person, that senior citizen in their home, and get them the help that they need.
Acrobatics and being a senior is not a good combination. You don't need to be up on ladders and step stools, and we like to stay on flat surfaces. And normally without rugs that can slip or trip you, and that's a whole other topic.
So, and that's available by calling. All these are available by calling the Area Agency on Aging.
Okay, you want to give that number?
It is 419-524-4144. And once again, that's 419-524-4144. And give us a call Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We have people that answer the phone, and they will transfer you to a navigator or someone in that specific service. But a navigator is, by talking to them, they help you navigate the services. They help you maybe identify where you might have a need that you don't even realize.
Right. And then let's say you call and you want to go something about respite care. They can get you the proper individual at the agency to address that. So it's really just a way of, like you said, the word navigators, to navigate you to the correct person that can speak intelligently as to the subject matter that you're wanting to know about.
Yeah, it could be services that are right there in your own county that we can connect you to, or it could be a program that we have, or it could be a larger program like the Passport program, which is a Medicaid program. It could be learning more about the vaccines, the flu vaccines, the COVID-19 boosters that are coming out. It's giving you the knowledge that you need about any questions that you have about different programs that are out there. Whether you're 60 plus, you can call in if you're younger and say, hey, I've got this aunt and I know she's struggling. What's available to her? Well, how can I help her? And they'd be able to look at different ways that they could be able to put services in the home.
Last but not least, I would imagine we're also coming up on Medicare. Open enrollment, that's coming.
Open enrollment, yes, October 15th through December the 7th, Medicare open enrollment, and that's when you can go in and look at your Medicare plan and make any changes that you need to. You can call OSHIP, which is the Ohio Senior Health Insurance Program. They're not going to sell you anything, not like all the commercials that are on and stuff. It's called OSHIP for short, but the Ohio Senior Insurance Program, they can answer questions, they can counsel you, they can give you all kinds of great information about the Medicare plans, what might best fit for you. It's always good to look every year at your Medicare plan because they do change.
Well, it's like everything else, it changes, and a lot of times people will say, well, I just keep it the same, but they don't really investigate. But there's times, maybe one year you're using a lot of medication, so now my plan might change. It might behoove me to switch to a different
a different plan altogether.
Yes, and whatever. So those things all change, and really, quite frankly, the area agency does a good job of helping people navigate the changes. And you need somebody to trust that you can go to that's not getting a commission off of this, somebody that can give you the straight and forward and say, you might want to consider doing this. That's basically what this is saying. You might want to consider doing this because you're not selling anything.
No, we're not selling anything. And by going and having them, you could call us or any other qualified person that looks at the plans. They're not going to be ones that are selling anything to you. They're going to look at maybe 3 different plans and say, hey, here are the 3 different plans. This is how it would benefit you. Do you want to change or do you want to stay where you are? If you want to change, then they'll help you make that change.
See, that's what's so nice about it, because you have somebody dependable that you can work with.
And OSHIP, their telephone number, let me give you that. It is 1-800-686 1578. And that's the Ohio Senior Health Insurance Information Program. And it's an information program. They're going to give you all kinds of information, but you can always call us at the Area Agency on Aging too.
And that's what I'm going to end with today is, again, we've given you a lot here in a short period of time. If you have questions, call over at the Area Agency on Aging. And by the way, they cover 9 counties. Would you basically say the names of the counties for the people, because people all over listen to these podcasts?
Yes, it's Ashland, Crawford, Huron-Knox, Marion, Morrow, Richland, Seneca, and Wyandotte County.
Okay, if you live in those counties, I'm going to put Susan back here again to give you the number where you would call if you have questions about anything that we talked about this morning. Would you give that number, please?
Yes, it is 419-524-4144. And we are located at 2131 Park Avenue West in Ontario. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We are on Facebook at aaa5ohio.org. Lots of wonderful information on our Facebook page. It's always changing. Or you can go on to our website, and there's a lot of great information there.
Well, Susan, thank you for coming over and enlightening our seniors, and it's good to see you again. It's been a while since you and I have done some interviewing, in this case podcasting, and looking forward to having you back again because it's just a wealth of knowledge and information. If you can always go back and replay this podcast and pick up a lot of the information from here if you missed some of it, or call the Area Agency on Aging over at Hawkins Corner. I always want to, yes, which, by the way, for those who don't know where that's, where the old Hawkins grocery store was in Ontario.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Susan, for being a guest on the podcast
Thank
today.
you for having me.
You're more than welcome.